What's up, YouTube? I believe I am live. A little late getting everything going today, so bear with me just a hair of a second here while I get everything in the background locked and loaded and ready to go. I think we're getting here. We are getting here. Hang on. I've almost got it. Getting closer. And closer. Yes, sir! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the weekly lawn and garden show. It is May 27th, Memorial Day weekend. Time we take a quick moment to think of all those who lost their lives defending what we have, and that is the freedom to be turf grass stewards. Big shout out to everyone who's helped us get to where we are. It's amazing. It really is. That's right. USA. All right, roll call real quick. Let's do a quick roll call. Let me jump into the chat here and see what is going on. Colonel Corn, how are you, sir? We are getting rain. Michael Moore is another Knoxville local. We're getting hammered. Kind of a funny story. I was filming. I had the drone going. I had the camera going. And I'm spraying T-Nex on the backyard. I'm spraying some micronutrients. I'm spraying some dethatch from Greene County Fertilizer. And I'm 85% done. And I had checked the radar several times. And they were calling for rain this afternoon. Like 8:45 tonight is when they were calling for rain. And I'm like, this is perfect. It's 6:45. I just got the yard cut. Oh, it just could not be any better. And you know what? Boom, it all started coming down, and it came down hard. I had to hurry up and land the drone, and it was a nightmare. But I don't know what's going to happen to the grass. I think the T-Nex is not going to be super effective. The rest of it I'm not too concerned about. But, yes, we are getting rain. We're getting all kinds of rain, way more rain than I anticipated. But I will take it. D. Moore, what is up, good sir? You live from the Knox Vegas yourself. Catbird Feeder, how are you, ma'am? C.D. Andrews. What's going on? JG! I don't know what you're talking about, Colonel Corn. That's what she said. Heather Sal, how are you? Paul Outlaw, my man. Getting closer. There you go. Joaquin, how are you, good sir? Mr. Good, how are you? That's right. Rich Pollack, how are you? Alfred, how are you, sir? Perfect disease conditions in Georgia. Perfect disease conditions in the transition zone. Wherever you live in the transition zone, it is on fire right now for disease. Casey Turner, how are you, good sir? HD Movie Source, my man, Carlsberg Carl from the UK, tuning in via North Carolina. How are you, good sir? Mr. Hawkins, what's going on? How are you? 2.5 inches in Morristown. That's what I'm talking about. Morristown is about 45 minutes to an hour northeast of me, and it is getting double nasty out there. I hear you, buddy. Michael Tuma, what's going on, man? Fresno. Man, we got more and more West Coast people in here. I love it. That is good stuff. John Bates, what's going on, man? You can't hide back there. Where's your brother at? Get your brother in on here too, John Bates. I need to get at him. Lush Lawns, got you for 30 minutes. Well, we'll see what we can crank in 30 minutes. Robert McNamara, New York was 90 yesterday, but 60 today. That's tough. Katie Zero needs a beer. So I went to Ryan Nord's videos, and he fertilized last fall, and he claims that the lawn uses and stores that in nutrients and uses it when it comes out of dormancy. Do you think this is true? Yes, Carlsberg Carl. And I will tell you why that's true. It's actually the soil that stores the nitrogen. because nitrogen in and of itself is very, very stable in cold temperatures. It doesn't gas. Once it's in the soil, the only thing you really have to worry about is leaching and runoff. So once it's in the soil, though, it's very stable. So when you think about like croplands, one of the things they do in like when they use anhydrous ammonia. So anhydrous ammonia is a gas, and they inject it into the soil where it can remain stable there. And typically they do that in the spring because it'll be very stable. So yes, doing a quote unquote fall blitz, shout out to my guys at the lawn forum, teach me about the fall blitz. Doing a fall blitz allows all that to be stored up and just remain there until the plant can begin to use it. Basically, when soil temperatures reach a point where your urea can be converted into a usable ammoniacal form, it will remain there. So yes. Can a dormant lawn still suck up nutrients, or does it have to be green to utilize it? It will have to be green to utilize it. However, the soil can suck up nutrients when the lawn is dormant. So that's the beautiful thing about the soil. It's this tank. It's this sink that just sucks everything up and holds on to it. So there you go. Carlsberg Carl, feel like you would kill it as a high school football radio guy. Man, secret is I've always dreamed of doing radio. I would love to do radio. High school football, I mean, that would just be the pinnacle of my career in terms of radio. I'd love to do it. I'm in T-zone, got some nasty going on, just apply granular headway. There you go. Nothing fun in the transition zone right now. This is what it's all about. This is the next couple of months. All fungicides out before the rain. There you go. Learn a lot. My pathetic yard is looking better already. Thanks, Matt. Willow Spring, North Carolina. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Outdoor Concepts. My man, how are you, sir? Round 2 fungicide in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've got, he's got his trouble urine going down. CD Andrews does. And some Subdue. That's good. Good choice. I like that there. Soggy, Lakeland, Florida. Yeah, y'all got some stuff pushing up down there, don't you? Miss Bates, Mrs. Bates, P.S. Josh is here. That's what I'm talking about. My friends down in Columbia, Lexington, South Carolina area. Mr. Maguire, McDonough, Georgia. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, boy. Here we go. We got the Google Bucks coming in. Is Speed Zone any good? I have used it twice and haven't really noticed much. Use 1 ounce to a gallon in a hand can. Robert McNamara, Speed Zone is good. So when you look at it, and let me tell you a little bit about what's in Speed Zone. Basically, it is a 3-way that has added to it Quicksilver. Quicksilver is carfentrazone. If you look at carfentrazone, it's very similar to sulfentrazone, which is dismissed. It is a kicker. Carfentrazone in and of itself does okay in controlling some ways, but it has more of a burn effect. The actual full active ingredient name is carfentrazone ethyl. It is an ethyl, meaning it is a petroleum distillate, meaning it's going to have a very good impact at penetrating waxy tissue and giving that burn effect on the leaf of whatever it is you're applying. So Speed Zone, why they call it Speed Zone, is that it actually speeds up and provides a very quick visual response when it's applied. It doesn't necessarily kill the weed any faster, but visually it looks as if it's dying faster. Off the top of my head, I do not know the rates of Speed Zone. 1 ounce to a gallon sounds a little low. I think full rate per label may be 1.5 ounces, but I may be wrong. I don't know. Double check that. Make sure you're using full rate, label rate. Jason Hunt, Cleveland, Tennessee. My brother's down there, Mr. Hunt. He lives in downtown Cleveland, Tennessee, over there near Lee University. Cleveland, Tennessee, fun fact, has the most fun Halloween celebration of any town I've ever been to in my entire life. It's unbelievable what they do in downtown Cleveland. What can you spray over juniper's ground cover to get grass and weeds out of it? Paul, Number 1 is Fusilade. Fusilade, I believe, is labeled for juniper. Number 2, I believe glyphosate is also labeled for some forms of juniper. I do not know which forms of juniper, but consult the label of glyphosate. I believe it is labeled for juniper. Lawn care nut, what's good? The lawn care nuts in. Alan Hain. You like that? I got rained on pretty hard. Speaking of rain, that 3-inch downpour today hit about an hour after I spot sprayed 3-gallon mix of Roundup. Probably be reapplying this week. Me too, sir. Me too. Matt Powell, how are you, sir? Falling Waters, West Virginia, trying to grow zoysia. Kurt Kill, take it easy on the nitrogen when it comes to zoysia. If you have to do a very significant grow in, then you may want to get aggressive with it year 1. However, the more aggressive you're going to get with your fertilizer, the more aggressive you have to get with your fungicides. Just keep that in mind. They go hand in hand when dealing with zoysia grass, especially as far north as West Virginia. You kind of have an extended brown patch growing season there for zoysia, so keep that in mind. Connor Ward, I don't want to hear anything about my hair. Not everyone can have perfect hair like you or a mustache. Just saying. Check out the documentary Eternal or Not. I will check it out, Matt Powell. I will. I'm a big fan of documentaries. He needs one of those grass factor hats to color them melon up. My wife is ordering them right now, Paul, because that's my wife. I have to order them. What's going on, Bertram? What is a good drift management surfactant? So most surfactants are going to have drift management on the label. In particular, the 2 I use most commonly, one is called PS804. That's from Prime Source, Select Source. It is their generic version of LI700. The other is, it's also from Prime Source, and it is a mix of an methylated seed oil and an organosilicone. And it's called like Duo Stick, something like that. And it's also listed as a drift manager. But PS804 and Duo Stick, those are the 2 that I use. Glenn, I did not just wake up. I got caught in a nasty downpour, and my hair just went a little bananas, and it's not going to get any better. This is what happens when you get rained on that hard. No, I did not. Let's see. Need more cool season grass tips. Andrew, I will do some more cool season grass tips. I'm just, I love cool season grass, but I really love warm season grass. I live in a cool season grass market, and I kind of feel just overwhelmed with it all. So anyway, it is what it is. I apologize. I will get you some more cool season grass tips. I'm going to be doing a video about fungicide coming up. And by the way, if you're confused of where to start with your fungicide program, the Lawn Care Nut is going to have an excellent guide for fungicides coming out. Just want to plug that out there because it's coming up and it's going to be awesome. Once he had pretty sexy hair while mowing in the rain. Once at True Green, a dude neglected to wear his gloves and ended up with Speed Zone on his screeching like you've never heard. A fast burn that lasted hours. Wear the PPE, kids. That's right. That's right. You're welcome, Crutch. I try, sir. Bermuda looking good in Alabama with the rain. Same here, man. Bermuda's looking really good here. Running chemical and Milo, thanks to you. Carbon Love, baby. Carbon Love. Bermuda's kicking ass right now. Used Ringer Restore last month. Looking good in Georgia. Thank you, JP. Keep getting it. Keep getting it. There we go. Rates on Speed Zone, 0.75 to 1.75. And that's going to cover many different turf types in that wide variety of rates on that label. So pay attention to what turf type you're trying to treat and your max rates on Speed Zone, because Speed Zone could be labeled all the way from Bermuda grass to centipede. So pretty wide variety of rates there. Join the lawn forum this week. I feel at home already with the lawn nerds. It is. Absolutely. If nobody's ever joined, I recommend you join thelawnforum.com. It's a ton of fun. Those guys, I learn a significant amount from them daily. So it's a great place to be. VW 1972 Buy. How are you, good sir? Mowing in a tropical storm. Creeping Charlie is killing me. Tips. All right, Andrew. This is a good one here. Triclopyr is going to be probably your best bet against Creeping Charlie. To broaden the spectrum of control, to increase that speed of kill. One of the things to add to your Creeping Charlie would be like a 2,4-D or a 3-way herbicide. The other thing you may want to do is add a kicker. And when I say kicker, that would be something like Quicksilver, which would make it similar to like a Speed Zone. Or you could add Dismiss to it, and that would make it more like a T-Zone. So Speed Zone, T-Zone, Roll Your Own, they're all going to work. So 2,4-D, Triclopyr, Carfentrazone, Dismiss, Sulfentrazone. Somewhere in that wheelhouse, or just one mode of action isn't going to cut it. You're going to have to combine herbicides to make sure you're getting a very effective kill on your Creeping Charlie. I have invasive Bermuda in my centipede lawn, or should I use Sethoxidem, or just leave it? I don't have, okay, so yes, Sethoxidem would be what's labeled for it. I don't have a ton of experience using Sethoxidem, so just be careful. Make sure it's growing very actively, because you're going to cause some damage with your on the centipede with the Sethoxidem. There's just no way around it. It's going to happen. So keep that in mind. Whoa, Cat. What is going on in here? Thank you, Cat Bird Feeder. Thank you. I'm starting to sweat again. Y'all be careful. I'm starting to sweat. Joaquin, I do a little bit of ornamental. So I believe you're talking about trees and shrubs, and I will give you one piece of advice I have about trees and shrubs. And this is one thing. It is a bizarre thing, and I'm going to state this as a matter of opinion. It is not, don't take what I'm saying and run with it. But I stopped spraying preventative insecticides and fungicides on trees and shrubs, and I focused more on fertility. And since then, I very, very, very rarely have to treat insects on ornamentals. It's an amazing thing. But once I pulled the imidacloprid out of the tank, once I pulled the bifenthrin out of the tank, once I pulled the orthene out of the tank, all of a sudden, the bug issues I was having on a monthly basis were gone. So take that for what it is. However you want to structure your tree shrub program, I would treat the bug issue on an as-needed basis, because even if you have a healthier, more thriving, more attractive plant, what you're also going to have is an increased number of natural predators to those predators on your plants. So, for instance, if you have an increase in aphids, you'll have an increase in ladybugs. If you're constantly spraying bifenthrin or orthene or permethrin and knocking out those aphids, you're also consistently knocking out those ladybugs. So there are no natural predators to when those aphids come back, because you're always knocking down populations. I've just noticed once I started pulling the insecticides out of the tanks, the less issues I started having with bugs. Take it for what it's worth. What's going on, Popo? How are you, sir? My favorite. What is going on? Listen here, Lush Lawns. My haircut fund is fine. This is y'all are making me sweat. Pete's out there getting it. Pete and I, we talked on Friday, I believe. He is out there getting it, boy. Woo! You got that fungicide spraying, getting ready to go up in his way, too. My favorite hydro stand-on spreader sprayer. I don't know what a hydro stand-on is, but my favorite spreader sprayer, without a doubt, is the Permagreen. I live and die by the Permagreen, and I will defend Permagreen till I'm blue in the face. That is my one thing that I do day in and day out that I love, without a doubt. Every day when I go out to Trudy Yard, I look at my Permagreen and I say, thank you. I love that thing. Permagreen it is for me. Yellow nut sedge is killing me in my Bermuda, San Antonio, Texas. 100-degree temps already. Anything I can spot or blanket spray? Yes, Monument would be a great choice. Number 2 would be Katana. Number 3 would be sulfentrazone. You're going to cause some tip burn. I would not get super excited about it. It'll recover pretty quick, so you can do Dismiss. So Monument, Katana, Sedgehammer, which is halosulfuron methyl, and Dismiss. Those 4 there are pretty much going to get you taken care of. If you want to add one more to it, you can also add Certainty. All 5 of those are going to work well and not do just a significant amount of damage to Bermuda grass. Monument and Katana will probably do the least, followed by Sedgehammer. And another one you can add to that would be Solero. Those aren't really going to do a whole lot of damage, just a little bit of tip burn. Then your Certainty may do just a touch more tip burn, and then your Dismiss will do the worst. There you go. It's a guy with get the grass, get the money. Right, just use your tip about Celsius from your Bermuda growing field video, and it seems to be working. Celsius is good stuff. It's it's very broad spectrum, and that's my favorite thing about it. And it's very compatible in things you can tank mix it with. So that's what I love about it. Can we get a vid on what it takes to start a lawn care biz? Bare knuckle from a straight up pro looking back saying, if I ever start today, what would I do? JP, yeah, I can do that. Shoot me an email at thegrassfactor@gmail.com, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that was like for me and what I would do differently if I could. Let's see. Outdoor concept. What temp do you stop spraying in the summer when going after Virginia buttonweed and nutsedge? Probably 90 plus. If it's going to be over 90 degrees for the remainder of the day, I won't treat from that point forward. But so if I've got yards that are loaded up with Virginia buttonweed, I try and get them done in the morning, and that's just how I have to handle it. Oh boy, we got a flood alert. Look at that. Look at that. It's getting real here, y'all. I'll tell you who's getting hammered, and that is the people up in where is it? DC and Baltimore. That's some real deal stuff going on up there. Boom. Speaking of fungicides, last year my Sanos thing I hit hard with take all root rot. I put down some peat to try and negate this again. Is there anything else I should do? AF Staker, man, there is not a lot out there to really help with this. As far as take all root rot, promoting a good, healthy, active soil structure and growing medium is going to be your best bet. Minimize your thatch development, tone down your inputs. Peat is going to be good. Create that acidifying effect in the soil. Propiconazole is supposed to have a pretty good effect with it. I would take that one step further. Maybe do something like a propiconazole, tebuconazole, and a strobilurin. That's just it's a tough one. It's really a good tough one. Maybe also some Alan Haynes. Y'all are making me nervous. Yeah. Take all root rot is it's tough, man. It is really, really tough. St. Augustine is tough. Connor Ward, it does rules. I'll give you that. It rules. But it's difficult, man. Can I come mow your grass? So I haven't applied the BioStem pack yet. I have concrete hard clay. Do you recommend using aerate first to open things up first? Seriously, my soil is rock hard. Yes, HD Movie Source, do something. And really what's most important, when you have rock hard concrete clay, what's most important is getting something growing on it, even if it's weeds. Because I did a video that's called the root cycling effect, and it's the fastest way to really improve soil structure. Once something is growing on it, these roots will develop. They will push into the soil surface. The roots will die. It will deposit organic matter. It'll break down, and you create this carbon cycling effect, this root cycling effect that's constantly putting all these goodies back into the soil. So really the trick to improving concrete hard clay, yes, aerate is going to be a good place to start. But in conjunction with that, you need to get something growing on it quickly. Crown molding needs to be changed. That's Man, you aren't kidding. Doing a lot of speed zone laced with MSM, killing lots of stuff. Yep, for warm season grass, that's a really good mix. One of the best things I ever sprayed on wild onions was a mix of 2,4-D and MSM. Just smoked them every time. Let's see here. Don't spray ENC on shrubs and forget you did it. Did they start growing like wildfire, Michael? What happened when you sprayed it on the shrubs? My lawn is your lawn. I'd be careful when you said that. Healthy shrubs and turf, no bugs. I'm with you. That's right. Matt Sandoval, how are you, good sir? Tim Zoke. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Tim Zoke, I'm gonna say that's your name. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm trying. Permagreen is the best machine. That's right. Best money spent. Permagreen is $84.50 is the MSRP on it. Riviera Bermuda Sea, good choice, sir. Yes, I love Riviera. Great stuff. Any tips? Yeah, there you go. J-Nix Riviera renovation on the lawn for him. There you go. That's a perfect place to start. That's where I would start. I'm having the hardest time finding one in good shape near me. Yep, buy new. Push up that first release date. I need some of it for deep tying on my greens early September. I'm trying, sir. I'm trying. The phone goes off. This live stream is so flooded with tips. Hey, man, did you happen to get my pics that I sent you with my burnt lawn in March and then how it has come back RGS spoon feedings? Cheers. And yeah, we were getting crushed by rain right now in DC. Fabian, I did see that, and I was really excited to see it. I'm glad that has worked out for you. I'm super excited for that. What's your opinion on True Green Lawn Care Surface? LZ USA. Let me tell you a little bit about my opinion on True Green Lawn Care Service. If it wasn't for True Green Lawn Care Service, I would not be here where I am right now doing what I do today. I have a love-hate relationship with them. I loved my time when I worked at True Green. I hated it because I felt so limited in what I was able to do there. True Green is Jim Beveridge. What the hell are you thinking? Damn it, Jim. I'm going to throw up. Stop it. Stop it. Man. Thank you, Jim and Judy. Thank you both. My goodness, I'm going to puke. I'm sweating again. You know, when you're dealing with True Green, you're dealing with a corporate outfit that, you know, I compare it to the McDonald's of lawn care, meaning that, you know, they provide calories for the lawn, but they may not be ideal calories in the right concentrations coming from the right sources. So, you know, True Green as a picture, as the big picture, they're going to provide the calories that your lawn needs. However, it's not going to be a custom tailored calorie course that is tailored towards what your lawn needs for this time of year, given this general perception based on this amount of irrigation, based on these number of trees in the yards. The more you start dialing in your calorie sources there, you know, you're going to have to take that next level above True Green. So you may have to go from a True Green to a local guy. You may have to go from a local guy to, you know, a guy who has, you turn this into his life. You know, it's just, it's one of those things. True Green is it serves a purpose. It's just Lush Lawns. What are we doing in here? It is just, it's a, True Green is, I guess, kind of a necessary evil, but they're not really evil. That's my opinion on True Green. How about that? How does clover spread? Actually, how do weeds with no seed spread? The clover does have seeds, and it will spread by seed. And if it seems to be spreading without seed, then typically it's spreading through rhizome or stolons. That would be the manner that it creeps. Tips for controlling Dallas or Johnson grass. Crutch, in what turf type are you trying to kill Dallas or Johnson grass? Because that would have a big impact on that. You should cover insecticides. My lawn is being hammered with ants right now. Yeah, I can do that, VW. I'll tell you right now. Bifenthrin is always kind of the general go-to. Bifenthrin is picking up more and more resistance, so be careful with how much you actually use it. The other one would be permethrin is going to be good. Lambda cyhalothrin, something like that. No, Jim, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. For those of you that are professionals in the group, we have an amazing Facebook group. It's limited to professionals, and we will screen your ass. I'll tell you right now, we are ruthless about it. You will be screened. Professional lawn care operators, the professional lawn care applicators group on Facebook, PLCA, Professional Lawn Care Applicators. Again, just limited to professionals, but Jim leads us over there, and he does awesome. He does awesome. There's a ton of work he puts in there. Michael Moore, what are you doing? Stop it. I'm going to have a stroke. Man. The guy who had the question about Dallas or Johnson grass, what is your turf type? I'm scrolling here. Okay, killing Johnson or in tall fescue. Okay, Johnson grass in tall fescue. You're going to look for over the top. Fluazapop is an active ingredient that kills it in tall fescue. Dallas grass, you're going to be limited to Pilex. Pilex is the only thing I know that will kill Dallas grass in tall fescue. One thing that also works really well in tall fescue is a combination of Pilex and Fluazapop. Combining those two does really, really, really good. So how about that? What is a good, let me come back up here and answer some more of these. I'm going to have a stroke. Jeremy W., how are you, good sir? What's a good mixing ratio for humic acid and kelp? What is this? Glenn Stevens, stop it. Glenn, what is going on? Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Really, I mean, you just don't have to do this. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to die early. A good mixing ratio for humic acid and kelp. Okay. It depends on your humic acid concentration and your kelp concentration. Typically, the way they kind of have those labeled as far as the rates that are in the jug, typically you're looking at like maybe 1 ounce of kelp per 1,000 square feet, and typically you're looking at 3 to 6 ounces of humic acid per 1,000 square feet. Hope that helps. It all depends on the actual concentration in the bottle that it comes in, though. So there we go. Go Celtics. That's right. Go Celtics. What's better, liquid or Prill applied iron? Telly Coleman, that's entirely up to you. But if you think about it, with liquid applied iron, you get uptake in 2 ways. You get foliar uptake plus root uptake. With Prill applied iron, you're limited to strictly root uptake. So liquid is always going to be a better fertility choice than Prill. It's just more efficient because you have 2 modes of uptake coming into. Alan, I will get you in the back door on that. Don't you worry about that. Don't you? I'll backdoor you in there because I'm the backdoor king. I just need your blessing to hit my Yukon. Michael, I will not give you that blessing. That's right. If you're a non-professional, I recommend you go to the lawnforum.com. Even if you are a professional, I recommend you go to the lawnforum.com because chances are, even if you are a professional, you're going to learn a ton there. It's awesome stuff. It really is. Let's see. Glyphosate, good enough for a full renovate. Anything else you would recommend? Typically, Felix, glyphosate is good enough for a full renovation, but again, it all depends on what you're dealing with there. If you're going to be doing a full renovation, you may want to be running glyphosate as a % active ingredient in your spray solution. So you may want to be running like a 10% glyphosate solution. So if you're running, 1 gallon of glyphosate, that'd be 128 ounces. You would run 12.8 ounces of glyphosate in that 1 gallon of water, in that 1 gallon of spray solution. So 1 gallon of spray solution, 12.8 ounces of it would be glyphosate. Real low rebel. That is Connor Ward. That's right. Baby Rain, you don't have to watch Ryan. He just recycles the rest. Awesome Furt with K-Mag. What is that? Okay. K-Mag is going to be Sulfomag. That is going to be potassium sulfate of magnesia, sulfate of potash magnesia, magnesium sulfate. So is Sulfomag is basically what K-Mag is. So it's going to be a good source of sulfur, potassium, and magnesium all at one time. And it's not magnesium sulfate. Ignore I said that. It's potassium sulfate of magnesia, K-Mag. And it works really, really well at greening things up. It's really, really good stuff. Assuming you're magnesium deficient. If you're not magnesium deficient, then you probably don't need to apply it. But if you are magnesium deficient, it's going to smoke things green. It's good stuff. Now it says to mix RGS at a 1:7 ratio. 7 parts water and 1 part RGS, right? Even using a hose sprayer. Yes. Yes. Jeremy, yes, that was a dad joke. I'm a pro grass killer. That's right. Oh man, I finally made it to the bottom of the chat. That's all right. Good stuff. Man, I was kind of running on super hyper mode there. Let me see what I got in here. And Colonel Corn, what are you doing? Thank you, sir. Look at that. 1776. That's right. Colonel Corn, I cannot convert my front yard to alpha grass. To alpha grass. Because I have trees in the front yard. I would have to cut down the trees, which I don't know if I want to cut them down or not. It may come. It may come. Let's see. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. The other thing, Carl, I don't know a whole lot about that mix ratio with RGS. I don't know exactly what is going on with that. Typically, the easiest thing to do would just make sure you're getting down 3 ounces per 1,000 square feet, or 6 ounces or 9 ounces per 1,000 square feet. I think that 1:7 ratio of RGS to water is more for tree and shrub applications, more so than turf grass. But I don't know. You may want to ask those guys about it, because I don't know. How can I get rid of clover and fescue? It's a 2-part question. You want to apply a pre-emergent to make sure it doesn't come back when you kill it with a product like a 3-way herbicide containing 2,4-D, Mecaprop, dicamba, or MCPA, or triclopyr, or fluroxypyr, or a combination product containing both triclopyr and fluroxypyr, like Escalade 2. All of those will work really, really well. The other one would be like T-Zone, Speed Zone, Red Max from Site 1, Momentum FX2 is another Lesco product. They all control clover really well. I also believe Quinclorac, also known as Drive XLR8, controls clover. Lots of different products out there for clover control. The kicker with it is that it can continually come back if you don't improve the overall health of your fescue. If you get your fescue dense enough, typically clover remediates in and of itself. However, a pre-emergent is also a good thing to put down to make sure that you're not immediately dealing with that clover again. I made my neighbors all spray with me their hoses today so I could cut the grass wet. Captain Murph, I don't understand, but good for you. What's your feelings about Headway granular? JG, okay, so like I was talking about with foliar fertilizer, how you get two different forms of uptake with foliar fertilizer. You get your liquid uptake actually absorbed through the leaf tissue, and then you get the rest of it taken up by the root system of the plant. The same would apply to a fungicide. Applied foliarly, you get it immediately taken into the plant through the leaf tissue, and then you also get the root uptake. So in terms of fungicide, I would highly always recommend you start with liquid. You can apply granular and it's going to work, but if you can make the switch to granular, plus you can roll your own headway much cheaper than you can apply it granular. I can understand you don't have to buy as much, so there's a lower upfront cost. So I can totally understand why you do it, but realistically, you will get a better result with headway liquid. Jim Ritter, what is up, man? My plant manager, Jim Ritter's in the house. Woo! That's what I like to see. If anybody wants to know anything about the fertilizer that's on the books here, private message Jim Ritter. He's the man. Jim may or may not be the man. Jim is the man. Jim is definitely the man. I have 5 huge oaks. I'm having halfway success in cultivating turf-type tall fescue under the canopy in Zone 8, south of ATL. Man! Suggested to keep things alive and green. I have never applied pre or post emergent. Man, Jeremy W., that's a tough one. If you're dealing with 5 huge oaks, this is the issue you're going to begin running into. Once oak trees reach a certain level of maturity, there is a plant process called allolepathy. That's a really fancy way of saying that trees do not want grass growing in their drip zone. Allolepathy is the tree's attempt to sterilize the soil in such a way to keep things from growing in its drip line. Most notably would be the walnut trees, and they emit juglone. Juglone is that chemical, the black walnuts emit that kills so many different plants. Oak trees will have the same effect. I don't believe it's juglone that comes from an oak tree. Could be, but chances are that is why you're suffering. The other part of that is that you're cultivating turf-type tall fescue. Turf-type tall fescue is going to have its limits. Its limits being in temperatures 85 degrees and over. 85 degrees and over. So once you're at 85 degrees and above, that turf-type tall fescue no longer wants to be there. Added stress coming from those huge oak trees and the allolepathy that's taking place, the alleles, the allopathic tendencies of these huge oaks, you're fighting a losing zone. So your halfway success is going to be awesome success that you're facing there. So there you go. Your halfway success is 100% success. I think that's all you can expect of it. Juglone. How about them apples? South of Atlanta, here my Leland cypress trees are turning brown in certain areas. How do I treat them? Robert Ray, let me ask you, your Leland cypresses, are they turning brown from the inside out? If that's the case, what is happening is the Leland cypress are going to put off this vigorous growth basically starting from June through the end of the year. When that happens, Google Grassmaster with spitting out knowledge about allolepathy. No, allolepathy is just a real thing. Okay, it took me a second to realize. I was like, Grassmaster? I was like, what? I thought it was the Grass Factor. You confused me, Fabian. Okay, so Leland cypress, when they're dying from the inside out, what's actually happening is the the area that's browning out is last year's new growth, and it's now, or even the year before, 2 years ago's new growth, and it's no longer providing a pivotal part of photosynthesis in the carbohydrate production of that plant. So the tree senses that it's no longer photosynthesizing food for the plant anymore, and so it drops them because they're a waste of space. They're a waste of good energy of that tree. So when you see them dying from the inside out, that's a natural Darwinistic type process that's taking place. It's survival of the fittest. If it's not benefiting the tree's going to get rid of it. That's the same way trees in the forest self-prune. If anybody ever asks you, why do trees in the forest why do they not need to be pruned? It's because they prune themselves based on light availability. That's when you get these big, long, straight trunks on these trees in the forest, because they constantly prune in that effort to continue to find light. As they grow taller and taller, they drop those lower limbs. Same thing with the Leland cypress in this case. Those needles on the inside are no longer providing energy to the trees, so they drop them. It wasn't. I got confused when I read Grassmaster. No, it was not what you did. I promise. It was me. It was me. I struggle. That's right. If trees, Alan, I was not expecting it to go that way. Any advice with getting rid of common Bermuda and Georgia lawn? Vincent Rivera, about your only options, all that are going to be a mix of fluazafop, also known as over the top, also known as fusilade, combined with triclopyr ester. Be careful in doing it in hot weather, because triclopyr ester can volatilize and cause damage as it drifts off site. In that gas state, it can move and target and kill off-target plants, so it may kill the neighbor's trees. So be very careful. You want to catch it when it's cooler outside, and less instances of temperature inversion. If you're not sure what temperature inversion is, check the turf lawn ester label. It tells all about it. But those are your two options in controlling common Bermuda and Georgia grass. Let's see here. Thinking about punching the yard like greenskeeper, then picking cores and dumping a semi-load of compost to fill the holes, or just kill it and till it this fall. Wife wants a soft turf. Man, wow, that's tough. Man, really that's up to you. I will tell you, I'm not really a big fan of doing the kill and renovation. I mean, it's doable and it totally works. I'm just not a giant fan of it. But, both of those would work. Both of those would work. I know it, and I just... I'm in Lexington, got my mow in today because it looks like another week of rain. Yeah, we got Tuesday, Wednesday rain, it looks like. Seems like a dumb question, but why does nitrogen burn grass when temps are so high? Eli, it's due to the fertilizer salt content. So it's not going to be salt in the sense of sodium chloride. It's going to be salt in the sense that it is a fertilizer salt. And when too much of it gets into the soil, it's actually going to interrupt the flow of water through the plant. And that's why you get the burn. So you think of salt typically as sodium chloride. Another one that's not nitrogen related, think of if you know anyone that cannot have sodium for heart issues and they have to go on something that is no salt, typically that's potassium chloride. We also use potassium chloride in the fertilizer market, and that is known as potash. Like 0062 is potash. That's potassium chloride. That's the same thing that's in no salt that you get at the grocery store. Simple enough. I'm planning on dropping high-end fert tomorrow. The weather's been hotter than normal lately. Should I worry about brown patch? Yes, sir, you should. Honestly, you should. If you're going to be running high-end fert, you probably want to dial it back. Dial it back. That's right. I can rotate between the two pretty easily. The grass factor to the grass master. Bring it on. But you can cut up with the bag. Don't throw any RGS on the man's skin. I did receive my shipping of tuna. I have another biostem pack. I like to suggest lawn care not doing a live stream so we can contribute to. Yes, sir, Mark. Yes, sir. Put down my first app, RGS and human. Can't wait to see what it does. David, I hope you're applying it in conjunction with a fertilizer, because you got to remember, when it comes to something like a humic product and an RGS product, they are not standalone products. They increase the efficiency of your NPK and micros. Humic acid in particular has a very high cation exchange capacity. That's its ability to be to hang on to positively charged ions and wait for something even stronger negatively charged, like a root zone, to come about and attract it away from it. So it's a bridge. I consider it the bridge between fertilizer and the root system. So if you didn't, you may want to throw some fertilizer down with your RGS and humic, because it's what makes the fertilizer more efficient. Oh, let's see here. I just moved from Wake Forest, got my mow in today before the rain. Carlsberg. There's good beer I enjoy from overseas. LCN does have jokes. He's got jokes every night. He's a funny guy. Say allolepathy 3 times fast. Allolepathy, allolepathy, allolepathy. Boom. Real Low Rebel, your post-cocktail video is looking sharp. That is, it was really funny. And when I was watching Connor put together that video on everything that was going into the spreader, I knew immediately there was no risk to what he was putting down. I was doing a little bit of math there, and I was like, oh, come on. That ain't nothing to get all excited about. But I love how Connor's like, yeah, listen, look. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing any damage, so, why not put it down like this? I love it. I love it. Run some tall fescue on the edge of the transition zone, hammer NPK on winter, fungicide in the summer, human product, supplement some K in summer. Say a good prayer, Mo talk. That, Paul, that is the epitome of growing tall fescue in an area where tall fescue does not belong. NPK all winter, pound it. Fungicide all summer. Humic to supplement some K. Humic products, supplement some K in the summer, and say a prayer, mow tall. That's the trick to tall fescue in the South. That's it right there. Can you YouTubers make more videos? I'm running out of content to watch. Tom Clams, what turf type is your burnt lawn? Because depending on dial it back. Is dilution the solution for pet spots? Yes. You do it right away. Absolutely. No, right away, long before you see the brown spots. Once you see the brown spots, it's too late. Tom Clams, what turf type are you dealing with that burnt turf? Thanks, PPC. Is that pay per click? Is that a Google joke? I burnt the hell out of my lawn with a weed killer over winter. It's slowly coming back now, but very slowly. Man. Did do my Milo app yesterday and put it on his phone. Second time today, I've heard cation exchange capacity. Life is good. The Real Low Rebel. Oh, okay. PPC. I got you. Use RGS Dethatcher Humus 12 yet. Should we use less than 1 pound of N per 1,000 if using RGS or humic acids? Rob, that's entirely up to you. You could put down 1 pound. You can put down a 1/4 pound. You can put down a 1/16 of a pound, 1/2 pound, 3/4 of a pound. Really, it's entirely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But no, you don't have to run a lesser rate of N just because you're using RGS or humic acids. What would you say a high rate of nitrogen this time of year? For cool season grass, a high rate this time of year would be, I would say, 3/4 of a pound plus. I know some guys right now, anything over a 1/2 pound, I would say is a high rate right now on cool season. Tom Clams, if you're dealing with cool season turf up in New York, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do except wait it out, brother. You know, if it's not too terribly bad, may sound a little counterintuitive, but try and fertilize out the damage. But if it's really bad and it looks burned all the way down to the core, down to the crown, you're just going to have to let it go through its growth cycle, seed in the fall, and that's about the only thing you can do. Because once it's dead, it's dead. And unless you're dealing with Kentucky bluegrass, it's not like it's going to fill back in that area. You'd have to reseed it. Do you put down antifungals as a preventative measure? Peter Rodriguez, yes, sir. Typically, I do. Chris Thomas, how long does it take for sedge hammer to kill yellow nut sedge? Chris, it is going to be 3 weeks. Typically, when you spray it the first week, it will begin, like it'll still be growing, and then at the end of the first week, it's just going to stop growing. You cut it, and then you'll have these short little plants, and then they will continue to yellow over 3 to 4 weeks. Sedge hammer is notoriously slow, but it works pretty well. He clogged his hose-in sprayer. Oh, man, golf life, Glenn Stevens. Hey, good luck to you, sir. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everything. And hopefully one day I will, one day soon I'll be able to give you some more information about this fertilizer. I'll let you know, though. I'll let you know as soon as I know. Time to put down grub control. You are not far away, Phil. There's a couple different things you can put down as far as grubs. There are products like imidacloprid or acetylprin or there's a couple other ones too. Quick tidbit. Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, is going to be putting out a guide talking specifically about grub control and the products he recommends. So I'd stick around for that. But time to put down grub control. You're getting very close. You're getting very close. With herbicides, Josh Jacobs, with herbicides like Dismiss NXT having a 90-degree cutoff temp recommendation, can I do a blanket app in the morning with temps in the low 70s before it hits 90 at noon? Yes, sir, Josh Jacobs. The recommendation is that you do not apply in temperatures at 90 degrees or above. It's not necessarily if the day has the ability to hit 90 degrees or above. So something like Dismiss NXT, you can spray in the morning without the fear of that, label restriction of 90 degrees. Also, my garden as well for tomatoes. He's got a hop yard. Fabian making his own beer. How about them apples? Do you run Headway all season or switch to Strobe only after a couple of apps? Typically, I will all season, CD Andrews. Now, I may throw, more like I may throw in some thiophanate methyl, or I may throw in, I can't remember the name of the active ingredient, but the Cleary's 3336, just for a little contact out there. But for the most part, season long, I love the Headway. For homeowners, another one you may want to consider throwing in there is Daconil. Chlorothalonil is very good. Chlorothalonil, when combined with a strobel urine and a DMI, would be pretty much resistant proof. And that's going to pretty much contact everything you could run into except Pythium. For Pythium, you're going to have to stick to your methanoxam. Would I be okay to lay down Milo, antifungal, and insect protection all at once? Peter Rodriguez, yes, sir, you sure would. What can I do to get rid of a patch of zoysia in my Bermuda grass lawn? Chris Windorf, what I would do is use a product called either Tenacity or Pylex. Doing just a single app with it will likely knock the zoysia out of commission and give the Bermuda grass a chance to recover. Be wary and be aware that it will damage your zoysia. So just keep that in mind. All right, y'all, I am going to have to call it. It's 9 o'clock, time for me to put my kids to bed. I hope y'all enjoy time off for tomorrow. And everyone has a great Memorial Day weekend. Keep in mind why we celebrate Memorial Day. Keep in mind those that have lost their lives serving our great country. And I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. If you would like any Grass Factor merchandise, in the comments down below, my wife has put together ever so kindly a store for me. Also, you can find me on Instagram at thegrassfactor. And if you haven't, feel free to subscribe. Your last video of athletic field, what was used to burn the thing into the shape of the turf? If I had to guess, it was Roundup, and it was a 30-yard spray job. It was, not gonna lie, pretty amazing. They did a great job. All right, y'all, I appreciate it. I gotta run. Y'all have a great evening. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Wait for it. Wait for it. Take it easy.